The lynching of Laura and L.D. Nelson on May 25, 1911, near Okemah, Okfuskee County, Oklahoma, stands as a sad chapter in American history, underscoring the pervasive racial violence and injustice faced by African Americans in the early 20th century. This tragic event not only exemplifies the brutal treatment of African Americans, but also highlights the systematic failures of the judicial system during that era. During the early 1900s, the United States, particularly the southern states, witnessed rampant racial violence against African Americans. The legacy of slavery combined with the rise of Jim Crow laws created an environment where African Americans were systematically oppressed and denied basic civil rights. Lynching, a form of extrajudicial punishment, became a widespread tool for terror used by white mobs to enforce racial hierarchy and suppress African American communities. On May 25, 1911, Laura Nelson and her teenage son, L.D. Nelson, were lynched by a mob of white men near Okemah, Oklahoma. The events leading to their lynching begin with Deputy Sheriff George H. Looney of Okfuskee County Sheriff's Office was eliminated during a search of the Nelson family's farm. The search was conducted concerning a stolen cow. This led to L.D. Nelson being accused of eliminating Deputy Looney, and Laura Nelson was charged for allegedly grabbing the weapon first. Laura and L.D. Nelson were arrested and detained in the Okemah jail after the incident. Reports indicate that their detention was marked by a lack of legal representation and a fair trial, reflecting the broader racial prejudices of the time. The local white community quickly accepted the accusations against them, and little effort was made to ensure a thorough and unbiased investigation. On the night of May 24, 1911, a mob of approximately 40 white men stormed the jail where Laura and L.D. Nelson were held. The mob overpowered the sheriff and his deputies, who offered no significant resistance. Laura and L.D. were forcibly taken from their cells and driven to a bridge over the North Canadian River about a mile outside of Okemah. The mob hanged Laura and L.D. Nelson from the bridge, and their bodies were left hanging for several hours. Photographs of the lynching were taken and subsequently distributed as postcards, a common practice during this era that further dehumanized the victims and glorified the violence. The lynching of Laura and L.D. Nelson was widely reported in newspapers across the United States, drawing attention to the brutality of lynching and the racial injustices prevalent in the county. Despite the publicity, no members of the lynch mob were ever prosecuted or held accountable for their hangings, highlighting the failure of the legal system to protect African American citizens and deliver justice. The incident contributed to the growing awareness and condemnation of lynching, eventually leading to the formation of anti-lynching organizations and movements. These efforts, spearheaded by groups such as the NAACP, sought to bring an end to lynching and promote civil rights for African Americans. The lynching of Laura and L.D. Nelson remains a poignant reminder of the racial violence and systematic injustice that plagued the United States in the early 20th century. It underscores the urgent need for historical reckoning and the continuous struggle for racial equality and justice. Remembering and acknowledging such tragedies is crucial in understanding the deep-rooted issues of racism and working towards a more just and equitable society. For more information, please visit my website at www.ontheshoulders1.com. There, you can support my OTSOG book series. You can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/OTSOG, and you can also hit the super like button under this video. I love you all, and make sure you catch the next video coming up.